another live action adaptation. So as you can see from the title, I am headed to the Toronto Film Festival. I just thought it would be a good idea to drive. I'm definitely regretting that right now since it's a 9-hour trip. I'm probably gonna have to stop and whatever. But I'm hoping to get there sometime tomorrow. You know, it'll be nice, just me on the open road. Maybe I'll find some mental clarity or whatever. But I'm excited to be going back. Last year I had such a good time, so this year to be able to go back and it be a little bit more open because of the restrictions being lifted, it should be a good time. You know, I'm gonna get to see The Whale, The Fablemans, Glass Onion, In Conversation with Taylor Swift premiering All Too Well. Super excited for that. At My Policeman, Harry Styles, big in the streets right now. So should be a great time, and plenty of others. I'm kind of just gonna wing it and just try to, you know, give my thoughts throughout the video, take it day by day, see how it goes, get into the groove of this whole thing, and yeah, see you in Toronto. Before I go though, there's just one stop I have to make.
Hi, how can I help you?
Hi, how's it going? Can I just get a cheesy gordita crunch?
All right.
A steak quesadilla. And a large Diet Pepsi.
All right.
That's it.
Did you want any sauce?
Hot sauce, please.
And does everything look correct?
Yes.
All right, your total is $13.65. Pull up to the window.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
A little bit of a light order, but I'm on a diet. Fucking exhausted. 9-hour drive in the books. Can't nap because I gotta go start this festival. So tonight we're gonna go see Women Talking and Godland. So excited for that. I really just need a nap, but you know, I just gotta push through, power through. Let's do this. Finally made it down to downtown Toronto. Got to get used to talking to myself while people are walking by, but I guess I'll just have to be a weirdo for the next few days. But yeah, it's beautiful. They got the whole street shut off. It seems to be a lot more people and active here, so definitely looking forward to it. But you know, your boy's hungry, so got to go get some food. So I think the only thing worse than talking to myself all day is eating alone and talking to myself at the same time. So it's something I just got to get used to. It's weird because once I stop recording this, I'm just not going to say anything for the rest of the time I'm here. So yeah, that's how I'm going to be living. But got to get that content out, you know. Or I could just try to make some friends and not have to eat lunch by myself like I'm Steven fucking Glansberg. But we'll see. Hey, so I have to interrupt this video for some breaking news. It's with a heavy heart that I announced that the Queen is dead. So I don't know how I'm gonna keep going and finish this video. It impacts us all, really. Also, I had a couple beers for lunch, and this is a lot easier now, so I'm gonna keep that vibe going. So day one in the books. I was gonna record something last night when I got back, but I couldn't speak, let alone even think straight. Or I still can't. I'm still pretty fucking tired, but it's not as bad as last night. Yesterday I had a great time. Almost made some friends, which was pretty cool. Almost, a couple of conversations in passing. I feel like it's pretty cliquey here. Everyone's got like their group of friends and they're hanging out and having a good time. There's like parties I don't get invited to because I don't know anybody. It's like high school all over again, but like the film nerds are top dog. So I gotta make my way in with the cool kids. I don't know how to do that, but maybe I'll just, like back in the day, it would just be like start smoking or be good at sports. Now it's like, I guess, bring up Tarkovsky or something. I don't know. I'll try it out. I'll let you guys know. But last night I saw Women Talking and Godland. Both I enjoyed. Going into Women Talking, I heard a lot of great things, so I was anticipating that one. It's directed by Sarah Polley and stars Rooney Mara, Jessie Buckley, Claire Foy, Frances McDormand, just to name a few. So tremendous cast. Rooney Mara, I don't know, did I say her? I'm still a little brain fog, but tremendous cast, and the performances are fantastic. I think that was the one thing that I was blown away by. It's a heavy movie, definitely a heavy movie to start the festival with. I thought maybe it could have been it was a little too heavy-handed, especially with its messaging at times, but it's such a heavy subject that it's hard not to be that heavy-handed. There's no like skating around it. So I mean, it's about these women who are basically in a cult that are just being abused mentally and physically by the men of this colony. So it's definitely invokes a lot of emotion, but strangely enough, there are some moments of levity in there, and it's a movie that very much feels like a play. It's very dialogue heavy, not too many settings, so it really is driven by these performances. At times there are these big monologues. It feels like they try to make too many scenes, like these big moments that, like, when before an actor gets nominated for an Oscar, they play that clip. There was like 20 of those throughout the movie, which was good and entertaining because they absolutely killed it. But I feel like it almost dilutes it when every 5 minutes there's this big sweeping monologue that's supposed to evoke emotion, but it definitely drives the story and keeps you engaged. So, but there are some times where it's such in quick succession that they don't let it breathe. But again, like I said, the subject matter is one that it's not like evokes that type of emotion to be portrayed again and again and again. So yeah, I think a lot of people are really going to like this movie, especially if you're a fan of any of these actors. You're just going to see them at some of their best. So yeah, that was Women Talking, and then later on I saw Godland, which it's a Dutch Icelandic film that I gotta say it was one of the more beautiful films I've watched recently. Just by the way it was shot and directed, breathtaking shots. It has like a 1-to-1 aspect ratio too, which I know some people don't like, but what they were able to capture was just pretty remarkable. Natural beauty, camera work was insane. Great cinematography, great direction. The story at times drags, and 2 hours and 20 minutes at 9 o'clock on a day where I woke up at 5 in the morning. So that didn't lend well for me personally in that moment of time. So maybe if I watched it when I was at midday, full day of sleep, wouldn't have felt like it dragged as much, but for me at that time it did. But even looking at it, knowing that, I still can appreciate the movie for what it was able to do technically. I don't think the story itself matches that beauty, but it still is an interesting journey and really gets into, I think miscommunication, the director talked about, was a huge theme. That's the air conditioner, sorry for the buzzing. And shows you how, sometimes nature can be a little bit more brutal, even though it's portrayed so beautiful, and just how man devolves when they're put in these certain situations. And yeah, this movie is actually a lot funnier than you would expect it to be. There are multiple laugh out loud moments that I think the whole theater was having a good time with. So yeah, I think this is one a lot of film fans will like a lot. I just wish that I was not dreaming of sleep at the time. So maybe if I ever rewatch it, or when I do rewatch it, I'll have a better appreciation for it. So time to kick off day 2. We got The Swimmers, Weird Al in conversation with Taylor Swift, and The Luckiest Man in the World, I believe. So that's at least what I'm hoping to see. Some of them I might not be able to get into, but that's on the agenda. Maybe make some changes and go from there. Day 2, let's do it. Day 3, finally was able to get a little sleep because I don't start a little bit until later tonight. But yesterday was actually a pretty interesting day. I started it off with The Swimmers, which was the opening film for TIFF. That was pretty good. I mean, the first 2 acts were actually really good. It's about these Syrian refugees that had to flee their land in order to go to Germany to escape everything that's going on there. And those parts, when they are making their journey, are pretty tense. I was invested emotionally. The relationships between the 2 sisters were phenomenal. Just the first 2 acts were just a great showing of perseverance and family. But like the title says, they are swimmers, so that's what they were trained to do. They were trained to swim with goals of the Olympics growing up. So, and those aspects of the film, especially later on in the film, it turns into like a cliche, straight to DVD sports movie that you see on like Disney Channel or something. It really conflicted tonally, because as real and dark and gritty as the beginning of the film was, it kind of lost all that in certain parts, especially in the 3rd act. So overall, I think it was a solid movie, but I really enjoyed the first 2 acts more. Then I was gonna go see Weird Al, but I got there 45 minutes early and they were already booked. So I went to go see A Man of Reason instead, and hand up, I know I'm supposed to be professional, and I'm not excusing my actions whatsoever, but I was fucking tired, and I might have fallen asleep for like a good 10 minutes. So I feel like a fraud if I give it a definitive review, but from what I saw, I mean, it was a solid action movie. I don't think by any means I fell asleep because the movie was bad. I was just beyond exhausted. So, but what I did see, it was fine. I thought there was a lot of potential there, but it really turned into just just your prototypical action revenge story type movie. So I was expecting a little more there, but again, I could feel it. I was just like, when you do that a little, that was happening for a while, and I was able to fight it for a little, and it just overcame me. But it was only like 5-10 minutes. So after that, I got my second wind and was able to push through. But after that, talk about a second wind. Taylor Swift, All Too Well, 35mm premiere. That was pretty cool. Even though I've seen the music video and all that, seeing it on that stage with obviously Taylor Swift in attendance was pretty incredible. Listening to her talk, just her passion for film really surprised me, and her knowledge of film. I always knew she was obviously very talented and smart when it came to her music, but to see that crossover and her discuss film was actually really cool to watch and hear her talk. She really is the best. And I'm not just saying this because I'm afraid of Taylor Swift fans. She just seems like super nice and genuine, and she really does care about her what her work. And she didn't just come in being like, oh, I'm Taylor Swift, I can direct. I really got the sense that this was something she was passionate about, and obviously if you've seen the short film, you can tell because it's actually very well made. So yeah, that was incredible. The energy there, the line leading in, there were people crying. You were hearing sniffling throughout when she was steering, and every time she would talk and say something, the crowd would she had the whole crowd edge of their seat, eating out of the palm of her hand. Her fan base is really loyal, and I don't know, it was just a cool environment to be in. Definitely a nice change of pace from everything else I've been doing so far. She's just the best. Everyone was talking about the Queen's dead. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's right in front of me. That was stupid. Yeah, it sucks. I didn't get to meet her because I felt like we would be good friends, and who knows what would happen then, but next time. I feel like Taylor would get a kick out of me. And she was talking about like Guillermo del Toro, like she loves Pan's Labyrinth. I'm like, yo, me too. But yeah, that was really great. Nice change of pace, like I said. And then I ended the night with the happiest man in the world. Plot twist, the guy wasn't that happy. But this was actually one of my favorites that I saw this festival. It's I had no idea what it was about going into it, and it really took me for a ride. The dialogue in the film, I think, especially in the opening 20 minutes, was very captivating, and it kind of just flew by. It was only an hour and a half movie, but very dialogue driven, but with some twists and turns that kept me very engaged. It's something it's hard to talk about without like pretty much spoiling it, but it's basically these people are in a dating, like speed dating thing, but yeah, they definitely get matched up with some interesting people, and just the more you know about these characters from talking about trying to get to know each other through these questions from the dating, especially in the beginning, was very intriguing. And as the film played out, I think it really takes some interesting turns that I had a good time with. And like I said, it was one of my favorite films. I haven't really seen anything that I love so far that really blew me out of the water, but still got The Woman King today, Glass Onion coming up, Fabelmans, The Whale, My Policeman, Empire of Light, The Sun. So I think the second half is going to be pretty stacked. So yeah, let's see how it goes. And I got to check into another hotel, so that's fun. I've also become efficient at the Toronto rail system because Ubers have been fucking insane, and I'm staying outside of the city these first 2 days, so that's cool. I'm learning. I'm pretty much Canadian, Torontoite, whatever. Fuck the Blue Jays and the Maple Leafs. So I just left The Woman King, and I liked it a lot. Viola Davis I can't say enough about her. She should easily be the biggest star in Hollywood, biggest movie star. The whole cast was great. Lashana Lynch was fantastic. I was blown away by the action. It was epic. The scale of it was fantastic. It's really one of those big blockbuster movies that succeed at both being a blockbuster and just a great movie at the same time. So I really enjoyed that. So now I'm on my way to check into my second hotel. Jesus fucking Christ, I need to do something about this. Look at it. It's not half bad. No, it's terrible. Got another screening later on today. And then hopefully maybe some red carpets I applied for, we'll see. But yeah, today I kind of just set some time aside just to really take in the city. So, and tomorrow, Monday and Tuesday, I'm pretty stacked with some good stuff coming. So, yeah. So I'll probably check back after that screening, or if anything cool happens, or see someone famous, I'll try to grab that too. Just checked in. Look at this. Give you a warm chocolate chip coffee cookie when you check in. That's service. That's how you take care of your residents. It's warm. Amazing. And I am blown away. It might be the best movie of the year. I also saw Knives Out today, which was fantastic as well. Oh, no, Glass Onion. I'll talk about those later, but whew, that was such a good movie. That's Steven Spielberg. What else can I say? But yeah, it's time to go watch the Jets. I'll talk about these movies a little bit later on when I get back to the hotel, but I gotta ruin my Sunday by subjecting myself to watching this piss poor team. So let's go Jets. The Jets make me want to kill. All right, so we're back. The Jets didn't completely ruin my day yesterday. They tried, but mostly due to the fact that the Fabelmans and Glass Onion, Knives Out movie were really good. So the Jets couldn't even ruin that experience. I just got back from My Policeman and I saw The Whale earlier today, and I'm still like, The Whale still got me a little fucked up. Not gonna lie, that movie absolutely devastated me. But before that, I'll just talk about Knives Out a little, and The Fabelmans. Both I really enjoyed. Besides The Whale, I think those were my two favorites going into today. But yeah, Glass Onion, I think every bit as good as Knives Out. It was fun seeing Daniel Craig back in this character with a new cast around him, a new crew, and yeah, I think it really matched what the first one did so well. Just with a captivating story, a fun mystery. I thought the humor was there, so it really worked on all levels, and it was just thoroughly entertaining for 2 hours. It never hit any lulls. Edward Norton was absolutely fantastic. Janelle Monáe was great, and obviously Daniel Craig back in that role. I mean, Rian Johnson, I just hope he just keeps making these movies because these first two installments have just been so fun, and I think they really are the perfect type of whodunit mystery. I really think people are going to enjoy it when it comes out, so definitely be on the lookout for that. The Fabelmans, oh my god. I really enjoyed it. I mean, Steven Spielberg, obviously one of the best directors of all time, and I think he delivered again. It was so fun to, watch him tell this story that's so personal to him, and just seeing those formative years of an aspiring filmmaker. I think all the scenes of him finding his love for filmmaking and cinema and, chasing that dream was fantastic. And the actor who plays this character is really good, and I enjoyed him. As is the whole cast, like Michelle Williams, Paul Dano, just absolutely fantastic. Seth Rogen, really good in this role. Very funny. It was very endearing at times, but I think it gets a little serious too. So it kind of has all the elements to which I enjoy when I want to go see a movie. But besides like Knives Out, like It was one of the funnier movies I've seen, and I really wasn't expecting that much going in because I really didn't know too much about it. I didn't watch any of the trailers or anything like that. But you know, there's a little bit of campiness to it, but it also gets serious, like I said. So I think just you could tell Spielberg really. This is something that was really personal to him, so I think this was probably a fun project for him to work on. And like a lot of movies that are kind of like love letters to cinema or Hollywood or film, I feel kind of have this self-indulgence about them, and I don't think that was the case here. So it's interesting to see what people think of The Fabelmans when it comes out, because it might not work for everybody, or I don't know if you're going to put it up on the top of films when it comes to Spielberg, but man, I think it's definitely up there for at least one of the better movies of the year for me. But yeah, the best movie I saw so far this TIFF is The Whale, and I doubt anything's gonna come close to that for me. Like I said, I was absolutely fighting for my life, trying not to break down and just be a mess in the middle of the theater. I was definitely tearing up, and it was almost to that point where if I wanted to, and like I didn't resist at all, I would have been a complete and total mess. It was one of the more, I don't remember a film eliciting that type of emotion from me. And it's not just because they're tugging on your heartstrings or just being unnecessarily sad and trying to, it was just such a natural reaction. And I was literally shaking and my knees were weak for a good half hour after. There were people sobbing in the theater, like literally sobbing, like what I would have done if I didn't fight so hard. But yeah, even just Brendan Fraser too. I think he's a lock for Best Actor, and he deserves it. Seeing his reaction and how humble and thankful he's been during these premieres, it's just been so good to see for an actor like him. That he really deserves all the praise, and I don't think there's enough praise that he can be given for this performance. Sadie Sink also, I think, will definitely get a nomination. She played off of him so well. That's going to be fun to see people's reactions to, and I think many people will have the same response that I have, and many of the people in attendance to that screening. It was. I'm still a little rattled. It's something. It's hard to explain, but it really just hit me. So yeah, I can't say enough. Darren Aronofsky, obviously, such a great filmmaker, and has made deeply emotional movies in the past. So it's no surprise, but I don't know. It's going to be tough for anything to really top this for me. And I was still like trying to reel myself in because I had to go see My Policeman about an hour after. So I was like, all right, maybe Harry Styles can cheer me up a little. But this was kind of like a sad movie too. And I think Harry has been getting made fun of a lot on the internet for his acting ability, or for some people, lack thereof. I haven't seen Don't Worry Darling yet, so I'm only going off of that one clip I've seen and the roles he's been in the past. But here, I think he was perfectly fine. I think he was not the strongest performance in the film, but I think he held his own, and I think for the movie itself, I think it was definitely a fine movie. I would give it a favorable score, and there have been films on this subject in the past about being homosexual in this time, in this period. I think it's like 1950s or after the Second World War, and just the struggles and the limitations that are put on people that just by the law, the way they're viewed, the way people perceive them. So from that aspect, that's always something that it's always heartbreaking to watch because it's just a awful environment for people who don't conform to what the, I guess, way of thinking of these time periods. But Like I said, it didn't really, I don't think, separated itself from the pack in that regard when it comes to these type of movies. I think it hit a lot of the same beats as previous films, but yeah, I think it was definitely enjoyable. And like I said, I think this is one that if you're skeptical or don't like Harry Styles as an actor, he doesn't embarrass himself by any means. So it was good, and it's stupid to say because he's the biggest star in the world and he is so successful with what he does to kind of like feel bad for him, but I kind of do when he's just getting dunked on by everybody. So I'm glad that he was serviceable in this movie. Yeah, I got a few more films while I'm here. I'm leaving tomorrow, so I'll give quick little recaps. Like I said, these are just quick little initial thoughts, and then hopefully I'll do a podcast and maybe go more in depth with certain films when I get back here. But yeah, it's been a blast so far. I feel like I'm finally getting comfortable, and which sucks because I'm leaving tomorrow already. But it's been such a fun time. Just the whole environment, the vibe of the city has been great. The people, just film lovers from all over the world coming together and just enjoying cinema. So we'll see if anything surprises me or blows me out of the water or creeps up to the top of my list. But right now, with The Whale, Glass Onion, Fablemans, I've definitely those are easily my top three so far. With The Whale just absolutely being the only one that I've given 5 stars. So yeah, in the meantime, I'll probably get something to eat. Maybe watch House of the Dragon because I was in the right mindset to watch it last night because I just been so tired this whole week. But yeah. Back where it all started, in the car, about to embark on a 9-hour drive home. Again, regretting the decision, but nothing I can do now. Finish off the festival with starring Margaret Qualley. It's a film about a dominatrix and one of her clients. That's all I'm really going to say about it because it's a wild ride. Thoroughly entertaining. Funny, kind of, you don't really know, it keeps you guessing of like what's actually going on here. Lots of twists and turns, and just one of the more entertaining movies I've seen during the festival. And Margaret Qualley is really good in the role. She really plays that character super well, and it confused me a little because I'm like, I don't know if it's just because I'm attracted to Margaret Qualley or this the situation, but I was like watching it like, ooh, And this morning I saw Ray and Raymond, or Raymond and Ray, it's one of those, with Ewan McGregor and Ethan Hawke, which was one of the surprises of the festival because I really didn't know too much going into it. But very good dark comedy, interesting family dynamics, how people cope with their past or try to overcome that even years later. This was another one that was just thoroughly entertaining. So I very much enjoyed that one. Both of them give fantastic performances, and one that I didn't really expect to be on the top of my list when I made my schedule or leaving the festival, but I think it might end up there. And then I just saw Empire of Light, my last movie, directed Sam Mendes, shot by Roger Deakins. It was fine. Olivia Colman was great. The cast was great. It was shot very well. And I feel like that's always like a backhanded compliment when you're talking about a movie. It's like, oh, well, at least it was shot well. Oh, the cast, it was great. But when it came down to it, like, screenplay wasn't all that. It was fine. It was good. But definitely, especially coming off 1917, I was kind of a little bit more excited going into this one. And it was good, like I said, but definitely nowhere near the top of the list for me. Like what I said about Fablemans, like how it wasn't up its own ass when it came to talking about cinema and filmmaking or kind of like a love letter to the craft. This was very much that way, where I do enjoy, like, obviously I love movies and I think they're extremely important and can really resonate with people in a multitude of ways. But when it's just hammered home all the time and it's just, this awe-inspiring film and cinema and going to the theater, you know, at a certain point, you're like, okay, we get it. You love movies. They even did it's pretty funny. They actually had a similar sequence in both those movies when they're talking about frame rates and how film is just 24 frames per second photos that are in such fast succession that, you know, it makes the illusion of motion picture. And they both like had a scene where they thoroughly went into that. So that was pretty interesting. But it's definitely more than that, more than just love of movies. There are definitely some other themes they get into, especially with, you know, some mental illness and race issues during that time period, 1980s, I think. But yeah, at the end of the day, it definitely wasn't one of my favorites, and it wasn't a bad way to end the festival, but maybe if I flipped the last two, I would be coming out on more of a high. But overall, another TIFF in the books. Had a fantastic time. It was really, I really had a lot of fun. Even traveling by yourself, it was the first time I ever done anything like this by myself, and for me to still have such a great time, just even interacting with people in passing, or just being in that type of environment was just, I think everybody who is a fan of movies, or not, I don't think you have to be that big of a fan, or just enjoy it. It's definitely worthwhile to try to go one year, or something akin to TIFF or another film festival, because it really was a great time. And I love the city of Toronto. Great food, great people. I didn't really eat that much, actually, this thing. It was a lot of popcorn, but I was just so busy that I wish I could have explored the city a little more, try more of the restaurants and things like that. But all in all, successful. I hope this video comes out well. We'll see. And yeah, let's hit the fucking road. 9 hours. It's going to be like 3 in the morning when I get home. And I'm already fucking exhausted. So I'm just going to load up on coffee. And if I have to stop, I have to stop. But if you're watching this, I made it home okay. Or they found the phone and like Bo got his hands on it and edited the video, because I didn't make it. And if that's the case, then I guess this is a goodbye. It's kind of dark, huh? No, I made it home. It's fine. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. You know I had to make one stop before I hit the road, right? All right, real quick before I end the video. I just pulled up to the drive-thru and I looked at the menu. And yo, they have fucking snack wraps at Canadian McDonald's. I'm so happy right now. I haven't had one of these in years. It was bring them back, America, McDonald's, please. I'm so pissed I found this out on the day I'm leaving. I probably would have gotten one a day, no joke. What a way to end the trip. All right, this should be the end, unless I find out something else cool about Canada. We'll see.